Hello, everyone. Jimmy Huntington, English Channel 360. Tonight I invite Miss ChatGPT to present a topic. The title of the topic is the Trump G2 summit will be spectacular and productive. Are you ready, Miss Chat GPT? Then pass it to you. Okay?
G2 used to be spectacular and productive. And yes, notice no question mark. Some people see a coming Trump-Xi summit and hear funeral music. I hear cash registers. Think about it. On one side, we have Emperor Xi, a man so obsessed with partnering with Russia against America that he sometimes looks more like the heir of Russia than the son of the dragon. A ruler willing to sacrifice generals, bureaucrats, and political loyalists faster than contestants disappearing from a Soviet game show. On the other side stands King Trump, the legendary deal maker in chief, the only man on earth who could probably negotiate a hotel discount with the devil himself. How could this meeting possibly be boring? No, this will be a good summit, a very good summit. Unlike certain second-rate commentators, self-proclaimed China experts, and Cold War fossils still mentally trapped in the Taiwan Strait crisis of 1958, I actually think both sides have strong reasons to smile for the cameras. Xi already understands something important. During Trump's presidency, peaceful reunification with Taiwan won't happen. Military reunification probably won't happen either, and certainly not in 2027. Why? Because starting a Taiwan war under Trump could accidentally turn him into a wartime president, powerful enough to ignore constitutional norms and jokingly ask America, maybe we should try a third term. Xi may be ambitious, but he is not stupid. So instead of playing wolf warrior, why not play friendly panda? Smile, shake hands, make money, which is probably why Beijing suddenly remembered to invite Jensen Huang, the man with the famous leather jacket and enough AI chips to make every Chinese tech executive kneel respectfully like medieval peasants before a king. Frankly, I suspect seeing Huang was Xi's idea. And Trump? Please, look at the business delegation, billionaires, tech titans, American corporate royalty. These people did not fly across the Pacific for Beijing duck and sightseeing. They came for deals. The paperwork is probably already finished. The summit itself may simply be a giant televised signing ceremony with teacups and carefully staged applause. Of course, there will be memorandums of understanding, the diplomatic equivalent of saying, we should totally have lunch sometime. But there will also be real transactions, real reciprocity, and real business. Because under Trump, Taiwan is not the central issue many commentators imagine it to be. Ironically, Beijing may not even panic about continued US weapons sales to Taiwan. Why? Because every advanced American weapons system entering Taiwan also becomes a graduate-level educational opportunity for Chinese intelligence services. Remember when even minor Taiwanese celebrities somehow ended up posing with sensitive Apache helicopter gear? Exactly. The Chinese Communist Party understands something many emotional commentators do not. Taiwan's government, whether led by the Democratic Progressive Party or a surprise comeback by the Kuomintang in 2028, mostly wants survival, stability, and economic peace, not invasion, not apocalypse, not Final Fantasy Pacific War Edition. And let us be honest, even pro-independence politicians increasingly use the framework of the Republic of China because it is politically safer, strategically smarter, and far less explosive than formally declaring Taiwan independence. Why become a troublemaker when you can simply continue living, trading semiconductors, drinking bubble tea, and surviving typhoons? Now, here comes the truly fascinating possibility. If a Trump-Xi G2 framework can help stabilize the Russia-Ukraine war, the US-Israel-Iran conflict, and even the Hormuz Strait crisis, then the world may quietly admit something uncomfortable. The era of G2 politics has returned. America leads, China approves, the rest of the world complains on social media. If she helps achieve that, his historical legacy may go far beyond simply becoming another strongman after Mao. In fact, she could argue he surpassed Mao Zedong himself. Mao closed China off and ruled through ideological storms. She wants China seated at the table, deciding the fate of the world. That is a completely different ambition. Perhaps that is why both Trump and Xi genuinely want this summit to succeed. Maybe Trump takes Xi to discuss tariffs. Maybe Xi takes Trump to the temple of heaven to pray for good weather, stable markets, and fewer wars. And who knows? Maybe both secretly want a Nobel Peace Prize photo opportunity. Stranger things have happened. In the end, this is indeed a G2 summit. The big G is America. The small g is China. Xi probably doesn't even mind waiting patiently for now. After all, Trump leaves office eventually. History does not. And perhaps the deepest strategic question of all is whether Trump may attempt something Henry Kissinger once mastered, rebalancing the great triangle of America, China, and Russia. Can Trump pull Beijing slightly away from Moscow? Or at least loosen Xi's iron embrace of Putin? That alone could reshape global politics for a generation. So yes, this summit matters. It is not merely about trade. It is not merely about Taiwan. It is a test of whether the world's biggest problems can still be managed by great powers acting like adults before everybody else starts acting like lunatics. And finally, to certain loud German critics and ninth-rate China experts insisting Trump has no plan, perhaps humility would be a wise investment, because sometimes history looks like chaos right before it becomes strategy. Jimmy Huntington, written furiously at dawn in America, May 13th.
Thank you very much, Miss ChatGPT. Again, thank you again, all the audience and my friend. Goodbye and good night.